bring her friends. We got authors, we got aliens. Even got a chat room for our friends. We got Gab, we got Ghost, we got the hostess with the most, Renee. Take it away. Renee. What's the subject today?
I'm just adding Linda on now. Hello,
Hey,
friend.
it's kind of dark in here. Let me turn one of my lights on. How are you? Oh,
Good,
there's
how
the
are you?
light. I'm good. We're having a heat wave here in California, so I'm a little warm.
We had that a couple of days ago, and now it's finally cooling for us.
Not here. It's very, very hot and humid.
Is it really?
Oh God, it's awful. So much for the first day of fall. Not here in California. It's more like summer.
It kind of rained here, and we had a high of like 60.
Oh, that's nice,
It was
though.
nice.
I like rain.
It was nice.
Yes, we
Hi,
need the
everybody. I
rain
got to
here
do a
as
shout
well.
out here to Sally.
Okay.
Sally is Perry's dog, and when I was on the radio, Sally had to listen every Sunday night, and she'd get excited to hear my voice. So this is the first time Sally,
Aw.
who's a little dog, who's beautiful, gets to actually see me. So hi,
Aw.
Sally. I know, right? Hi, everybody. My mom's even in the room. Mom's even watching.
Hi, Mom. Aw.
So I want to welcome you, Linda. For everybody who's watching, Linda is known as the Astrology Witch, and she's awesome. She's really awesome. She's a soul sister of mine, and even though she's out in California, we connected, and I'm so happy to have her back on the show tonight. So welcome back.
Nice. Thank you. It's great to be back.
It's awesome. This is
I,
kind of
I love
different,
the whole
right?
Facebook Live.
You like
I
it?
like it. It's better.
Girlfriend, you got to
Yeah,
do
it
this.
just, I know. I know. I'm still trying to figure out YouTube. I have videos on YouTube, but I'm still trying to figure out certain things about it.
You
I'll
know,
get there.
you know what's nice about this is that I can film here, go to my computer and download it, and then I can put my show, the beginning of the show theme and everything else on it, and then upload it on YouTube.
That's awesome. You'll have to show me how to do this.
I will.
Give me a French course.
It's good stuff. It's good
Like,
stuff.
absolutely.
So, Linda,
Modern tech,
go ahead.
no, modern technology at its finest.
Most definitely.
Yep,
So,
yep.
you are 3 hours behind us. I'm liking your sunlight.
Yes. This time of day in my house, this is the best sunlight. It just comes right through. I used to have crystals hanging, but I have a kitten and that was just too darn entertaining for him and so we had to take it down. But you might see him. He kind of jumps on my shoulder and sits. He's like my familiar.
Yeah, mine'll
Mil-
mine'll be around me.
Yeah, mine just kind of come around and, what you doing? I'm in your business.
Nice. I like that. I like that. They do it with me
I,
too.
but my kitten, it's the strangest thing. He is so connected to spirit that, and I know it sounds crazy, but
No.
when I'm doing tarot, when I'm doing angel card readings, when I'm doing a reading, he's like right there. He has to be involved. So that's why I call him my familiar.
Mine gather around me and protect me like you wouldn't believe.
See,
All of them.
awesome. I love the power of animal energy.
They will
Awesome.
literally go north, south, east, and west and center.
I believe
No
that.
joke.
Yep. Yep. Animals are awesome. Their energy is absolutely magical and powerful. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you,
I do
everybody.
too.
Thanks, Jeff. So I had some good news tonight that was really, really exciting, and I'm going to share it here on the air.
Okay.
Hi, David. Hi, Terry. Hi, Colleen. Hi, everybody. Um, so, it's a parent's wish that their children are always happy, and I'm not going to cry because I cried earlier.
Absolutely.
And you want the best for them in life, right? So
Absolutely.
my son proposed to his girlfriend tonight. So I'm gaining another daughter.
Aw.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm so happy for them.
Wonderful.
Look at my eyes are like tearing up already.
I know.
Thank
You're going to make me cry. Stop. That's beautiful. Congratulations.
you. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like such good news,
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the best.
And it's a beautiful time of year too,
is.
autumn.
It is.
New moon comes Friday in Libra, the planet of love, Venus. Perfect.
Perfect. So let's talk about this new moon since I have you on.
All
What
righty.
can people expect? First of all, I'm going to tell everybody, ground, ground, ground. Stay balanced, stay focused. It's all up to you, right?
Absolutely. You
Thank you,
have to
everybody.
ground, especially watching the news. Don't watch the news.
Mm-mm.
Last weekend I didn't watch any news for about 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most wonderful time of my life. It's like I knew nothing. And it was actually ignorance was bliss at that point. I knew because I read the stars, and it was like I'd just rather not watch the news because I know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good thing I did. Sometimes you just have to disconnect from all of that.
Yeah.
Put on a movie. If you want to watch TV, put on a movie.
No, I totally agree. I don't have cable anymore. I mean, I have their app. I pay for their app because I like HGTV and the Food Network
Right.
and a few other channels, right? But I don't watch the news. I will not watch
I
the
don't
news
blame.
because I feel it. I mean, we were talking about this, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, with my legs, and spirit gives me some sort
Yep.
of an idea, and I go with it. I don't want to get into that negativity of the news because I already feel it. I already sense
I know. We talked about that the other day, and I had given the dates of the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, but the dates I usually give are a 5-day window
Mm-hmm.
of and not that it was a bad thing because I have friends in Puerto Rico that I know through doing the DJing, but they had a 6.3 earthquake, and now they got a hurricane coming at them. I'm like, how much more does this little island have to take? It keeps getting its ass kicked over and over again. Shit. I feel bad for them, but they're strong. They'll get through it. But I don't feel that this is. I think there's something more coming.
Yeah, no, this wasn't it. As a matter of fact, well, the day after, I guess we bombed. Was it Iran?
We did.
Mm-hmm. The next day.
We bombed.
Yeah.
Oh. See, I haven't been watching the news. Thank God.
Yeah,
Wow.
somebody had mentioned it, and I can't follow it. I'm here to bring love and light and positivity to people and try to pull them out and basically everybody, including me at times, getting my head out of my ass, right? And
We all have
seeing the
moments.
whole picture. We all have our moments, and yeah, so
I know.
it's a mess in the Middle East, and we can't have it here in the U.S. But I think people are fighting that. I think people like the drama sometimes, and it's very frustrating.
Well, the last full moon was in Pisces, and on my YouTube page, I was talking about Middle East is going to make the news in some shocking way, and then like 2 or 3 days later, Saudi Arabia got bombed, their oil wells or whatever, where we get our oil from. So I'm like going, Oh God. If it's one time I wish I was wrong, this would be it,
Oh,
but
Saudi's
it
right in on it
happened.
right now too. Yeah,
Pardon me?
Saudi's highly involved. Somebody said the other day our gas prices are going to go up now. Watch.
Oh God, I know.
Even though
I
we have
know.
enough here in the U.S. for our people, all the energy we need, all the fuel, everything we need, we have to keep the peace and get from overseas because this is the bullying tactic. And this is what it is with all these other countries. It's a bullying tactic to keep peace and something that we
And it all
try to
comes,
prevent, right? We try to
yep.
prevent it and and here, it's every day. It's with each country. They bully each other for all these resources and peace and everything, and it's like I'm so sick of it. you know?
They mirror they mirror exactly how human beings treat each other. I
Yeah.
can honestly say this from working in the school. I work with special needs kids and I see it. It's like, oh my God, not with special needs kids, but the other children. It's like, wow, you guys they're so ugly inside. I don't know how else to say it. There's so much hate. And I'm going, whoa, no wonder. Look who their role models are.
Yeah.
What they see on the news, I'm sure they hear it and it affects them on a completely subconscious level, you know.
I have to
It
say
it has
I'm very blessed because Maya, I think, is oblivious to a lot of it, right? And not only that, but how people treat other people. But I'm blessed because, in the same sense, I see her in school, and I see the other kids interact with her, and it's truly a beautiful thing. And
that's good.
so I'm really glad that these kids that she's growing up with in the different grades are very accepting of her. You know, she
That's
does
good.
stand out, and I mean, how many 12-year-olds look at their mom and say, "Hey, mommy, mommy, mommy," "Hi, mommy, I having a good day," and uh, most 12-year-olds go, "Mom, really?" But not her. And they
That's
they they
beautiful.
like it, they don't mind it. They don't make fun of her. They don't pick on her, you know. She's a right in your face type
That's
of a
good.
girl in school, and yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
I, in my personal opinion, if you, as an educator, if you can nip it in the bud in elementary school, you won't have that problem in
Mhm.
middle school and beyond. But I notice, and I don't want to bring this, you know, I notice that children that are incredibly born in a very, how do I say it, strict religious household,
Mhm.
I find them to be the ones that are the most judgmental, the most unaccepting, the ones that, not all, but the ones that kind of bully. Now, in where I live, my neck of the woods is a high concentration of Latinos, and the whole gay issue, that's a sin to them, and it's
Mhm.
disgusting, and it's this, and it's like, oh my God, so there's ignorance. It doesn't matter what race you are or what color your skin is. There's ignorance everywhere, everywhere. It's just, and it is getting worse before it's getting better. I don't know. I always say we need, something has to happen to humanity on a level that is so unfathomable. And I don't mean like death and destruction.
Mhm.
I mean something that is unexplained, something that is going to shock and awe people to realize that, wow,
Mhm.
you know, we're actually one race, the human race. And if we don't fight together, then we're all going to die
Right.
by our ignorance and our stupidity.
Yep. Not all of us. I'm not.
I'm not. Nope. But we have we have an advantage, we may not be billionaires or millionaires or rich, but we're rich in knowledge, and that's what's going to save our butt.
Mhm.
Even in, I bring this up, and I don't want to bring up money, but um I've been doing a lot of investing in cryptocurrency lately.
Have you?
And yes, I have. And those of you out there, get out of the stock market. It's going to crash real soon. Start investing in some cryptocurrency. Go online. I think there's some guy in the chat room, Art. He's the one who got me into cryptocurrency, and also an occultist got me into it. He told me about it.
You're breaking up.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now you're
Can you hear
better.
me?
Yep.
That's kind of strange. It did that.
Right.
All of a sudden while I'm talking about this. No, I heard it. I'm going, why are they doing that to me? No, but what I'm saying is in 10 to 15 years, you're not going to recognize our economy in any sense of the way. So our money system will be virtually worthless. You know, the American dollar, the Asian markets are secretly investing in this. That's why China will be the next world power, because they're secretly investing in this. Our bankers right now are secretly investing in this type of currency, but they're printing in Forbes not to invest. They're telling you not to invest. It's called follow the rats. They're rats. Follow the rats and you'll see where they're investing. They know their economy is getting ready to drop. They know that we're getting ready to go on a one world global economy in about 10 years, 15 years. So I've been investing in cryptocurrency, and not a lot, $20 every month out of my paycheck. A little here, a little there. Last month I invested 20 and I've doubled my money. And I'm like, wow. And I just keep investing a little here. It's like playing the lottery. You either can go buy a bunch of scratch offs for $10, or you can invest in a little cryptocurrency. When the bottom does drop and the economy falls, that will be your way of buying food.
Mm-hmm.
Our money will be worthless. Any fuel, gasoline, anything like that, that will be our way of paying for it. It won't be the American dollar anymore. Oh, there we go again. I will stop talking about this subject now.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But we need to get back on track though. Like we have to talk about this new moon coming up.
This new moon is in Libra, and Libra is absolutely a beautiful placement for a new moon, because Libra is, she's her planet is Venus, and Venus is about love. This is the perfect time for marriage proposals and marriage. People get married. If a person gets married in the next 2 weeks after the new moon, their marriage will be blessed. Anybody who gets married in a new moon, meaning new to the full, they will always be blessed. People that marry in a full to the new, you usually find those people are the ones that end up divorced, separated, or have a lot of issues in their marriage.
Really?
That's just one factor to the stars. So yes, this is a beautiful time though for anything like that, but it's also a good time for things like court. After all, Libra is the scales. She's Lady Justice.
Yep.
She's court. She's the laws. But she's also marriage and partnership. She is the seventh house of the zodiac. So she's marriage. She's partnership. She's contracts. This also can mean business. If any of you have your own business, or this would be the good time to invest a little in your business, advertise in your business, things like that. Let's see. What else could I say about Libra? It's also, since it's the ruler of Venus, it's also a good time to go see your hairdresser, have your hair done, have your nails done, get a new outfit. It's all about love and friendship and arts, the beauty industry, things like that. But marriage and court is especially. You just look on the tarot card of Lady Justice and you'll see why.
Nice.
I'm hoping this new moon brings a little peace to the Middle East. I'm hoping, because she is about diplomacy and peace. This is the sign. When someone says, I'm going to throw the peace card on you, you're throwing Libra.
Knowing
Libra is the
it's true.
peacekeeper of the zodiac.
It's
Yeah,
true.
it's true. And we need those Libras out there.
Yep.
You know, my mother's a Libra, and she's always been that lady that, okay, you know, she always sees the good in, she can always see the good in the worst of people. And it's like, how does she do that? Libra.
Libra. We all know what I am.
Yes, but we love you for it. We need
Love.
war. You're a warrior. You're the warrior of the zodiac.
Yeah. Sometimes too much, right?
It's okay. We need those warrior women.
Mm. Mm. No, I think it's interesting. I always tell people with the new moon and the full moon, stay grounded, stay balanced, stay focused, because you are in control of your emotions. You're in control of your world. And if you don't want any, like, to feel off or, somebody said, what was it? Are we in Mercury retrograde? And I said, no, watch my timeline and see what I have on it. But you're in control of all of that, of your life. And if you stay grounded and balanced through these full moons, through the new moons, through the Mercury retrograde, it's a smoother sailing because you're aware. You're aware.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I totally agree.
Absolutely.
I totally agree. So, talk a little bit about your astrology. You do it differently than many people do because you follow Nostradamus.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's
Yes, so I follow the 16th century method of astrology, which is also called astropsychology, but I'm in no way a psychologist. Even though I should get paid those fees
Yeah, right.
for
I
psychology.
get it. I get it, sister. I
You know
get
where I'm
it.
going here.
Yeah.
But it is the 16th century. So Nostradamus, the method of astrology that he practiced was it's an ancient method. So it doesn't take on the modern method, meaning you won't hear me say, well, we are in 12 degrees of Leo and we're conjuncting this, that, and the other. You won't hear me say that. However, let me make myself clear. When I do your personal chart, you will have those placements in your planets and aspect, because we all have something conjuncting or trining or squaring, depending on our star chart. So on your personal chart, you will have those readings, but on a daily basis, I'm not going to give you those readings because, you know, if Scorpio is, if two planets are squaring, you know, say Pluto's squaring Saturn, that's going to affect someone whose personal chart has Saturn squaring that planet. It won't affect someone as much. So I don't stress on those. What I do stress on is the dragon head and tail, which in modern astrology is the north and south nodes of the moon. That's what Nostradamus used to create a great many of his predictions, even though his predictions were spoken in a tongue that we're not familiar with now. You can just see right by reading some of the things he's come up with through the centuries that, okay, that may, you know, you go into it with a spiritual mind and your third eye open and you'll be able to read his quatrains. But if you just sit there, you know, look at it and go, oh, this doesn't make any sense. No, you have to kind of tap into, you know, channel him. You have to channel him a little bit. And so that's kind of what I do. I'm not the reincarnation of him in any sense of the way. The man that I learned this from, his name is Dr. Lewis Torrey. And I have to admit, if someone would have said to me 20 years ago, you're going to be an ancient astrologer someday, I would have said, get out of here. You're crazy. But his method of astrology really vibrated with me because, you know, being a pagan, it kind of incorporated an extra oomph to my own magic and my own power and my way of healing people and helping people. And I was like, you know, it made me realize that sometimes a person can do a money spell over and over and over and over again, and it's never going to work. Why? You have to ask yourself, why is it never going to work? Because maybe that person's living on a Saturnian line, a line that will always create sadness, depression, and sorrow. Maybe that person's living on a moon line where it's all about emotions. If you're living in a part of the world and you're living on one of your biorhythm lines that does not, vibe well, you're always going to struggle. Sometimes the answer is not doing a million spells. The answer is relocating. So that's one way. And I guess doing witchcraft, it's helped me to step back and help the client in a different way. I am not the kind of person that will take money from someone and do a spell, whether it works or not. I actually look at their chart, and I will honestly come at them and say, save your $30, wait 6 months, or save whatever I charge for a spell, save that money, save up for a tarot reading from me, okay? Instead of having spell work done, because something that you could probably fix on your own, you don't need someone else meddling in your energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's me, that's the witch in me saying that. So, but his method of astrology has really made me tap into the 13th sign. We all have a 13th sign. Modern astrology puts very little emphasis on the north and south nodes of the moon. That's why ancient astrologers put more emphasis on this, and it doesn't become an astrology reading anymore. It becomes a soul's reading, because I can tap into diseases you might have had in the past, or sicknesses, or there's been times when I've looked at a chart and I've pinpointed that one of my clients was married to an abusive man because he had Mars and Scorpio in his 7th house. Oy, abusive. And once I pinpoint, there's just some things are a blessing and a curse. Some things I can pinpoint, I can't say straight out. I have to choose my words very wisely. But Nostradamus' method of astrology really opened my eyes to seeing astrology on a level that was very different from opening up your newspaper and reading the half-ass reading you get in the paper, and you go, that's not me at all. That's how it was through the years as a teenager and in my 20s. I'm like, that doesn't sound like me. But once I studied Nostradamus's astrology, I realized that there are no two Capricorns that are alike. There are no two Aries that are alike. No two signs, you could be the same sign. I mean, I'll use Capricorn as a perfect example. My sign, you meet people in life and they are either completely atheist or completely religious and intensely political. Capricorn rules politics, so it kind of makes sense. And then I sit back and I say to myself, well, how come I'm different? I'm not an atheist at all, but I'm not a complete religious nut either. Well, you have sometimes, there's that fishtail that Capricorn has, and most Capricorns have forgotten how to use that fishtail, the fishtail of metaphysics, higher learning, higher knowledge. I mean, before religion took over, Capricorn he's the old man of the zodiac. He's the engineer. He's Father Time. He was the sorcerer in some ways. But nowadays, he's not. And Christianity has created Capricorn as what? The goat's head. So now we're the devil. So, through the ages, what's really sad is through the ages, the priests have been taught this astrology method, and they don't talk about it. You could see it in some of the old art in certain parts of the world, old churches with astrology symbols on it and stuff. But the popes and the priests get that knowledge. But to the common folk, like all of us, if someone like you or I practices that, we're the devil. Someone came at me about 3 weeks ago and said they have to unfriend me and they have to block me and not follow my my Astrology Witch Facebook page anymore because their pastor told them that people that follow the stars are walking in the footsteps of Satan. So I'm like, okay, bye.
I don't have that. Excuse me. I don't have that problem anymore. I used to. I used to have people confront me, and I'm like, why are you confronting me? Well, you're a psychic medium, and that's the work of the devil. And you don't believe in God, and blah blah blah. And this one woman literally at an event came and charged at me, and this is like 5 years ago, and I was like, whoa, stop. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. I believe in God. Just because I'm Catholic doesn't mean that I can't be who I truly am, you know? And the woman just looked
I
at me, she
agree.
goes, you believe in God? I said, well, I believe in God. There's a God, higher source. It's within all of us, but don't come charging at me and thinking that, you're going to change me or, who I am and what I can do. Just don't even do it. I'll knock you on your ass. Seriously. My daughter was right there. My oldest daughter was right there. I'll never forget. And she was getting ready to freak out. And my girlfriend was next to her and she goes, just stand back. Your mother will handle this. She goes, and if she doesn't, I'll join her. But I was like, who do you think you are? You're like charging at me like, really? Do I have four heads? Accusing me of all this stuff. You don't even know who I am as a person.
I know.
Step back.
So judgmental.
You're in my space. You're in my space. Step back.
Yep, very judgmental. And not to sound arrogant, but it's their loss.
Yeah.
Okay, keep your head in the sand, and keep thinking that, it's like that saying, how does that saying go? Well, I can't remember how it goes, but religion in general always wants to keep their people fearful and ignorant. And instead of exploring and looking to, spirituality. I mean, look at the stars, for example. I've had more people, human beings, fail me and tell the truth, not tell the truth.
You locked up.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. I canceled the phone call. I lost my whole train of thought now. I've had more people, where was I going with this? I don't know. I lost my whole train of thought from that phone call, but I've had more people, come at me and say, wow, I charge $40 when I had a special running. I don't charge that now, but when I'm actually running a solstice special for $40 right now. But I've had someone come at me and say, that $40 I spent on you and doing that astrology chart on me, or the Astro Tarot, was more intense, and I got more answers than me paying some psychic. And I kind of sat back and I said, well, if you ever need a psychic, I know them. I know the ones to go to, and I know the ones not to go to, because, and she goes, well, how do you know this? I go, all I have to do is pull up their birth chart and I could see if they have gifts or not. It's simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
There are people I've readings on, and I kind of sit there and go, have you ever felt, and I have to kind of pull it out of them that, you actually have abilities. Have you ever been aware of this? And they kind of sit back and go, well, yeah, but I never wanted to say anything because I don't want people to think I'm nuts. It's like, no, it's a gift. It's a blessing. It's not anything like that. In the mundane world, they may think you're nuts, but in the spiritual world, you are divine,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of sad that some people that are unknown have no clue they have these gifts. And then there's others where you look at their chart and you go, wow, you get a better reading out of a Cracker Jack box. This person's just good with their words.
Nice. Nice.
So So like I always tell my clients, they're always in good hands with you. I have about 4 I refer to, and one is
you.
one that speaks to animals. He's an animal psychic. But I always say, when you need a psychic, come see me, and I'll refer you to a couple of people.
And you do. Thank you.
Yes, I do. And you have referred me as well.
Yeah.
I have a couple of clients that are wonderful, and I've done readings and tarot readings for them. And when I've asked, where did you hear from me? Renee Marie. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the beauty of our world.
It's
You know,
together,
give and
sister.
take.
We raise each other up. We lift each other up.
Absolutely. And not going off on a rant about the spiritual world, going back to astrology, I do want to say that my method is not the only method that follows the dragon head and tail. We just word it a little differently. Chinese astrology is where a lot of the Nostradamus astrology comes from, with the dragon head and tail, but it also goes on to a somewhat of a draconian level in some ways. And the 4 ancient methods of astrology are the draconian, the Vedic, which in Indian, the dragon head, the dragon tail, or K2 and Ratu, the divine, which is the Nostradamus method, and maybe there's only 3: Chinese, draconian, Vedic, and the divine. 4. Those 4 are the very ancient methods, and a lot of those readings are right on the money.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like, whoa, that's a deep reading.
Now, you talk about the dragon head and the dragon tail, right? I hid 2 dragon's tails. Is that what
I remember yes, and they're very so I remember yours very vividly, because I don't know if your listeners know this or not, and I don't know if you want me to share this, but
go ahead.
It doesn't surprise me that Renee has such gifts and abilities, because Renee has she has double energy, and so I almost call it being dignified in some ways, because it's double concentration. We all have a dragon head and tail, but we also have a hidden. But with Renee's, her natal and her hidden are the same, completely the same. So her dragon tail is in Scorpio. And anytime you have a dragon's tail in Scorpio, this makes for the natural born paranormal investigator. But this also makes her a past life as a witch, where she was burned or hanged at the stake. However, Renee decided to reincarnate and do it all over again, but do it good this time, I guess. And so she lived her past 2 lives as a witch somewhere, probably in Salem or somewhere, during the witch burnings. But I believe you survived the second time. First time around, you were murdered. Second time around, I don't think you were. And that's, a lot of people don't realize the power of Scorpio. But your dragon head is double energy, hidden and natal, in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So that's where your beautiful, loving, kind-hearted spirit, wanting to help people. Venus is about beauty. It's about love. It's about kindness, compassion. And yes, the dragon head and tail really is the the structure of one's chart. Unfortunately, modern astrology doesn't pay any attention to this, but what goes on in our dragon head and tail is very critical to how we live our lives. Knowing our strengths and our weaknesses, a dragon tail is karmic residue. It's karmic. It's not just 1 life, it's 2 lives or 3 lives or 4 lives. But with my method, I can only detect 2 past lives. I'm good, but I'm not that good.
I can name off a whole bunch of my past lives.
I can too, but for some people, it's like everything's cut and dry. They want to see it in writing. You know what I mean? But yes. There are people, I look at their chart and go, well, I'm going to tap into 2 of your past lives, but you're an old soul and you've had many. You probably were an Atlantean or from Lemuria or something, in a past life. So, but then there are those young souls, those ones that haven't had many reincarnations, and those are usually your your atheists, the ones that don't believe that if you can't see it, touch it, or feel it, it does not exist. Those are also your complete opposite of atheist, And those are young souls. They have lots of experiences to have
Mm,
before in many lifetimes, many reincarnations, you know. It's
it's
my
exciting.
kids laugh. Pardon me?
I said it's exciting.
It is exciting. My kids make fun of me all the time because I have a dragon tail in Virgo. And usually with a dragon tail in Virgo, one of your past lives was a nun. So my kids left, she's no nun now. My oldest was like, oh, get out of here. And I go, well, no, wait a minute. I go, I could see this because when I walk into a Catholic church, I don't sit there and go, oh, God, I'm in church. I mean, I kind of say that, but I walk in and I go, oh, look at the architecture. And, I start looking at things in a little different point of view, I guess. I just don't sit there and go, oh, God, I'm in church, you know. Catholic churches especially. So I said to my daughter, I'm comfortable in a Catholic church. It just doesn't faze me,
Mhm.
It's a past life thing, okay? So I was probably a Catholic not in a past life. And it's not an accident that I was raised by an old Catholic Strega grandmother from Italy.
When when I was in EMT critical care, we used to get a call for a guy who was like the town drunk or whatever. Um, and they would call me to jump on the rig if I wasn't on duty because he thought I was a nun. He
Are you
thought
serious?
he thought I was a nun. So they would call me and say, "Can you meet us?" Or if I was on duty, they were like really happy. And so he'd be like belligerent until I walked in. He'd be like, "Oh, sister, sister, why did you have to come? I'm so sorry, sister. Please forgive me. She's a nun, everybody. Please forgive me." So he'd like total turnaround. And that was because
You had
my one
a,
partner on that one crew, because I ran with two different agencies, and my one partner told him to behave himself because I was a nun. So it carried
oh,
with him.
wow.
So even though he would get really drunk and inebriated every time he called, which was never for anything really, um,
Oh, wow.
he would like totally snap too, so they wouldn't have any problems because he literally thought I was a nun. And then I'd have to ride in the ambulance with him, and yeah, yeah.
Well, you have a calming effect, Maybe that was it. Who knows? Did you go in and give him the sign of the cross?
I'd like to throw
Make
holy
him feel
water
like
at
he's
him.
really. There you go.
No, it was pretty funny though. We were talking about that the other night. It was great.
Really.
Hmm.
That's a great experience. You don't. You worked as a EMT
I
with
volunteered.
ambulance?
I was a EMT critical care, hmm
Ooh,
advanced life
I bet you.
support.
Bet you saw a lot of stuff.
I did. I have
I can imagine.
things many
I
people.
could only.
You want to know why I got my warped sense of humor? Well, there you go.
Oh, that's okay.
I've seen a lot. I've been called many things.
Well, like the saying goes, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger.
Oh yeah,
And I've said to you in your own personal reading, you're like a phoenix lady. You rise from the ashes.
all the time. All
Ah,
the
no.
time. I'd like to stay high.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Tired of rising all the time. Keep me up there.
I know. Stay elevated.
Yeah,
It's hard to do in these times,
it's all good. It's all.
It is.
I
Take it with a grain of salt.
We do have a question from Beck. Jeff wanted to know, how do you know when you're living on a biorhythm? And that's what I'm probably living on one, and I got to move. I know I
Okay.
could.
Okay. So I don't have the software to do it for you because it's very, very expensive, but I would suggest I don't have my software up and running, but I could actually pull up the map and see. You just want, if you ever get an opportunity, have some astrocartography done. It's called astrocartography, and and it goes with your biorhythms from the moment you're born. You have to, in order for you to know this, you have to have your birth time as accurate or as close as you can. It's okay if you sit there and you say, oh, I was born sometime around 2 or 2:30. That's fine. Perfect. I don't need anything more than that to figure it out. But then you go and have an astrocartography done, or I pull it up. I can also pull it up and I can see where the lines are going through the whole world. I have the map for the United States. I have the map for Europe, the map for Canada, and then the world map. And you can see. So if you're living on a Saturn line, okay, Saturnian, Saturn, think of Saturn. Saturn's in Capricorn right now. Makes sense. Saturn, the governor, is ruling this planet. He's at home. He's happy. Saturn and Capricorn go hand in hand. Saturn rules depression in its negative state. It rules, it can rule homelessness in some ways. If you're living under a Saturn line, you are destitute to just scrimp and just get by and not make ends meet. You are more destitute to suffering from depression. And Saturn is also about not just depression, but it's also about control and addiction in some ways. And a lot of Capricorns are prone to addiction. It's just something in them. If you're living under a Saturn line, I would move, relocate to another place. I'll give you a perfect example. I knew someone who lived on a Saturn line, and they lived in Europe, and their Saturn line ran right through France and up into England. Okay, the line just ran right kind of down that part of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
His sun line was in between Arizona and California. Okay, and he moved there, and he became a very famous astrologer.
Nice.
Because he moved on his sun. He moved on a sun line, and his sun line is about health. If one of you out there is suffering from health problems, you want to move to a sun line where your health will be better, your business will be better, the sun is shining on you. And as soon as he moved to Arizona, his business picked up, his psychic abilities picked up.
Nice.
And Venus line, that's another beautiful line you want to live on. If you're single and you're looking for love, you move on near a Venus line, you'll find love eventually. It will come. So for those of you who can't, figure out, I've been single for so long, I've tried so many love spells and they don't work. What is going on? Check your biorhythm lines and see if, Venus, if you're living on a Saturn line, you can't find love. If you're living on a Saturn line, you can't find money. But if you're living on a Sun line or a Venus line, you can find love, money. If you move on a Mercury line, you're going to be able to write some good stuff. That Mercury energy is going to get you flowing to where you start writing. And if you move on a Uranic line, that rules the UFOs and the ETs. So if you like to be abducted, move there. Move on one of those lines. And that's just how it is. And there are people who have lost their lives traveling abroad because they didn't check their biorhythms to see if they were traveling into a plutonic line. Not every human being has a plutonic line. I don't have one in my chart except for one part of the world where you'll never see me go, which is like somewhere in the middle of the Middle East somewhere. It's like, no. I won't be going there ever, not by choice. But there are some people that have gone on holiday and vacation and have come back in a body bag because they went on vacation probably during a waning moon phase and bad stars, and they travel on a plutonic line. So the astrocartography is very, very important. When spells don't work, that's what I go to. If a person's telling me they've tried all these things and nothing works, I will get their birthday, I will pull up the map, and I'll look and see, and I'll say, well, it's not going to work. I'm not going to take your money because you can do as many spells as you want, and it's not going to work. It might work for a brief moment, 2-3 months, but so that's where this method of astrology has perfected my magic. You know, there are people out there that'll do things, anything for just money, whether it works or not. You know, me and my friend are dealing with something right now in regards to that. I mean, I can't say too much, but I did his stars and I explained some things to her, and she's trying to do the cleanup with her magic and protection on him. But some people are living under negative lines or have done things on unlucky and unlucky dragon days. That's another thing, the unlucky and unlucky dragon days. There are 6 days out of the month, 3 of which are good and 3 of which are bad. And on those days, if they're good, positive days, all kinds of interesting things can happen. It's not just money. You know, some people think, oh, I'm going to win money. Well, good luck comes in many ways. You know, good luck can come with a new pet, or, you know, I just got, you know, $100 raise on my paycheck, or, you know, for us, because we run our own business, wow, I just got 10 orders. That makes my day.
Yeah.
You know, simple things. And then there's those negative days, and I can guarantee, for my own self, when I'm vibrating on a negative day, I usually get a migraine. We don't feel good. Because our biorhythms are vibrating on a lower level on those days than they are vibrating on a higher level. So those are called your positive and negative biorhythm days, or lucky dragon days and unlucky. And so, yes, it's very interesting. The Nostradamus astrology mixed in with the paganism. It's been quite a journey. I'm writing a book about it, so a few months that'll be out, and it explains about the moon and his method of astrology and stuff like that.
Well, we need to figure out my biorhythms and whatnot.
I'll pull it up and see when I didn't turn my software on because I saw the thing. She's not doing any readings.
No, don't. Yeah, no, don't turn it on. Don't turn it on. No.
So
sometime we need
turn
to
it on.
figure it out because I'm like really feeling the urge.
So yeah, I kept it off. I just left it off.
That
But yes, I will have to check.
That urge to be elsewhere is very strong. And
I'm having that urge. And I know what line I live on. I live under a Neptunian line. So that has its positive and its negatives for me. Anytime you're dealing with a Neptunian line, and I could speak from my younger days here, you're dealing with alcohol, addiction, dependency, depression, you know, Neptune rules illusions, delusions. I really do believe that because I'm living under my Neptunian line, I am prone to crazy people. I'm like a magnet for them. You know, I don't know what it is. I deal with more nuts in my life. And I think it's because I'm on a Neptunian line. Now, the positive of Neptune is psychic dreams, which I can have. You know, it creates incredible dreams. It creates, you know, it's Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. So Pisces is high spiritual knowledge. It's not an accident I'm doing astrology, you know, but it has its negatives. So I'm looking to move somewhere else myself. Unfortunately, my sun line runs right through places I'm like, I don't want to live in Houston, Texas, and I don't want to live in Oklahoma. But as it goes farther up, I'm like, I could live in the Dakotas with the natives.
Nice. Nice.
You know, and then there's some spots it's like, really, I would never live there. So you have to really look at the math and see. And here's an interesting thing about this method. There are people that have fallen in love with someone where that person's love line ran through California and they just happened to be visiting California, but their love line ran through California and they met this person and they fell in love. So you know, sometimes it's about being at the right place at the right time in the right stars.
I hear you. Chris, I'm good. Thank you for offering, but there's nothing wrong with me. So, but thank you. I work a lot of hours and I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work. So just working all the time. But thank you.
I haven't been reading the feed. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
You still work with children?
Um, well, I'm the cook manager for the school.
Okay.
So I'm around kids,
Okay.
but
Okay. Well, you still work with children. Absolutely. You play an intricate part
I feed them.
with them.
I feed them.
You feed them. There you go.
No, but I on the side I want to start doing something else. So
I
it's in
know.
the
I
process.
opened up. I have the astrologywitch.com, which has all my readings and everything, but I opened up a little store and I'm starting small. It's called the Magical Emporium, and
Mhm.
I'm just starting small and I'm building from there. And eventually I'll be selling used books and
Nice.
tarot cards. For now, it's just hierarchy angel oils and smudge sticks and stuff like that. But yeah, I love special needs kids, but it's taking its toll on me. And it's not the kids that are taking its toll. It's the establishment. I don't know how else to say it. You know, it's just, I can't say any more than that because we're Facebook Live. Who knows who's listening to me?
I can tell you right now, somebody's toking it up around here, somewhere in the neighborhood.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I smell it. Yeah.
Well,
That's not white sage that I'm smelling. And that's not bonfire. That's coming from somebody's home. And they're Cheech
is
and
it
Chonging
legal
it.
where you are?
I don't know how much. I don't know. Probably. I don't. But it's they're Cheech and Chonging it.
It's legal here, and I was talking to a friend who's a nurse, and she says to me, there's more and more people showing up at the ER for like panic attacks and
Really?
things like that. And I'm like, and it's pot. It's because of pot. I guess they're just smoking so much that it's giving them panic attacks. I'm like, oh my God.
They need to offer them Doritos or Taco Bell.
Oh gosh.
Here, you'll feel better in another half hour. Have some Doritos, have some Taco Bell.
I don't know if I'd feel better after Taco Bell.
I can't eat it.
Oh, no, I'm not a fast food person. Once in a while, I'll do it, but nah, it's okay.
No. Mm-mm. That's too funny.
That's because we know what's in it. That's why.
Well,
We know better.
and with the investigations and everything else, you don't want to eat Taco Bell, Mexican, or anything like
true.
that prior to an investigation, man, because I'll get that thermal imaging camera right on your ass. And I'll point it out. I know what you just did.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. I love it.
So true.
I love it. Absolutely. That's too funny. We don't get to see that stuff on Ghost Adventures.
Mm-mm. 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 Pretty funny.
I'm trying to read. I don't have my glasses on. I'm trying to read the feed.
You'd have to probably pull it down and
Yeah, that's okay. I get the gist. Did I screw with the camera by doing that?
You're fine.
Okay. All right.
Fine. I hold mine because it's easier. I don't have anything to.
I'm sitting on a stack of CDs. I mean, I could take you traveling, and there's all kinds of boxes in my house because my landlord's selling his house, this house. So, and not till the beginning of the year. So I have all these boxes stacked behind me, but the cats are enjoying it. It's like a jungle gym for my cats. So I'll just leave it for now and keep packing away. another stress in my life.
Without
Like the
these little
constant process of
adventures,
change.
where would we be? Life would be
Exactly.
boring.
Yes, it would. Indeed.
Hmm.
Definitely would.
It would be.
But I am, not to pimp myself out here, but I am running a great special for all your listeners. If it's a horseshoe spread and it's 7 cards, past, present, near future, you, yourself, your environment, hopes and fears, and long-term outcome. Usually an $80 reading. It's $39.99, solstice special, in my entire Etsy store, because I have an Etsy store, 40% off. So for those of you that are into smudge sticks, I charge $5.99 and they're 40% off. You do the math. It's an incredible deal
What
for a
size are
big
they?
medium.
Oh, really? For an
They're
8-inch?
they're medium. Yeah, medium size, and probably about the size, the thickness of a silver dollar. And they white sage. They're handmade in California, white sage. And so I'm unloading my summer and spring stuff so I can buy more for fall and
There you go.
winter. So I'm having a 40% off sale on everything. So check it out, Etsy.
I did a smoke out here in my house. Got about a month ago. I had somebody send me something, maybe a month and a half ago. And they sent me something. So I had to do a big smoke out. And that sage burned like you wouldn't believe. I mean, it was a 9-incher, but it was like
Wow.
this big around. It was huge, right? I burnt that thing for hours, and poor Maya's going, Mommy, Mommy, what is that smell? PU, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. If you'd opened up my front door, it would have been like billowing out. It took care of
Well, you
it.
could sit there with the neighbors and go, "You're going to drown me out with pot? I'm going to sage you. Let's open my window."
But I
Oh
definitely
my
did.
God.
I did. I think so, Arthur. Is it Arthur or Art?
I call him Art. When I'm mad at him, it's Arthur.
Oh, my
I'm
son's
kidding.
listening. My son's watching. Again, congratulations to he and Andrea.
Oh,
So excited.
congratulations.
He's
Sweet
watching.
amor.
He just told me to stop talking about my joint. I think he's talking about my elbows and my knees, and
Oh, I have that
I was
problem
talking
too.
about my smoke out, Cheech and Chong. I did. I lit that sage and I just opened it up, and I think it was I don't know if it was lavender or it was cedar. I can't remember, but let me tell you, that thing burned. Oh my God. Stinking flames like you wouldn't believe.
I guess it was in need of a cleansing, huh?
It was bad. What was sent to me was bad.
Oh, wow. Ooh,
Hmm. Yep.
I have
You have to
a
love it.
friend that isn't allowed to burn sage in her classroom.
Oh yeah, you
I
can't burn
guess
any, no essential oils,
they don't.
nothing like that. Hmm.
Well, we work in this classroom because it's a special day class. I had to make up a spray with Palo Santos oil in it, and I started mixing it up, and my daughter said to me, "Okay, Mom, you just made this whole batch with full moon water, Palo Santos oil, tourmaline stones, and it's like, why isn't this bottled and being sold?" And I'm going, I have to go order the bottles, but I gave one of the teachers one, and I told her, because with the kids, especially towards the full moon a few weeks ago, they're just off the charts. So she goes, "I can't burn sage. That's a no-no." And I said, "You need some Palo Santo spray. You wait till everyone's gone for the day. You open your windows and you just spray that all around. Clear out negative energy. And so that when these little souls come back the next day, everything's cleaned, everything's cleansed, and you could start a whole new day."
Right?
Yeah. So she was like, "I got to try that, because they're very particular in schools about burning sage and anything like that." And she goes, "And I'm one of those crazy crystal loving people. They're not going to understand me."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, there you go. Palo Santos water."
Yep. I love Palo Santo. It's better than sage to me.
I,
To me.
I agree. 100%. I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
It really, that is my go-to oil.
Mm-hmm.
I have one bottle of that left for sale, and it went so fast. I couldn't keep up with it, and I ended up taking one bottle for myself because I sat there going, I better keep one of these. I don't have this oil. I only have the stick itself to burn, but sometimes you can't burn stuff, if you go in a hotel room or, traveling somewhere. It's great for traveling. It's also great for paranormal
Mm-hmm.
investigations. I spray that stuff on myself all the
Mm-hmm.
time when I go,
Mm-hmm.
to protect, and even afterwards. It's great afterwards too.
So
Hello, Santos.
let's heat things up a little bit. Let's get things stirred. You ready to stir the shit pot?
Uh-oh. Let's stir the shit pot. All right.
2020 election. I know you already know.
2000 what? 20?
Mm-hmm. Want me to say who I think it is? Who I know it's going to be?
Yeah.
Whether I agree or not, whether I'm for him or not, it's going to be Trump again.
Well, I will say this about Trump. He has the potential in his stars to get reelected. He's Gemini, duality. Everything happens in twos, fours, and sixes. He is going to get divorced because he's on his third marriage. And like I said, being Gemini, he'll die with his fourth marriage, twos, fours, and sixes. As much as I know he has the potential to get reelected, I have seen his stars, and I know what Russia, I don't like to get into politics. I'm going from what I'm reading in his stars,
I
though.
told
I'm
you we're
not,
stirring the shit pot.
I know, and I'm feeling it. I could feel like I hate talking politics. My stomach churns every time I have to deal with this, because if I say something bad about him, then they go, oh, you're one of those libtards. And it's like, oh my God, just because I don't agree and I don't, agree with him does not mean I'm a Hillary loving person either. It's like, oh my God, the ignorance. But I honestly believe they're going to find all kinds of stuff on him, and he might, because of his stars, he's gotten away with everything so far. He's been lucky. His whole chart is ruled by Jupiter. Okay. Entire chart is ruled by Jupiter. So it's not that he's smart. He's not smart. Lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. But he has Cancer in Jupiter, so this makes him the natural born real estate mogul. Cancer rules real estate.
Mm-hmm.
He does not have Capricorn Capricorn in Jupiter, and that would mean lucky in politics. He does not have that trait. He's not a good political leader. His natal dragon's tail is a Sagittarian. He has the dragon's head right on him, so he knows how to lie multiple times, over and over again. And he lies so much that I don't think he realizes he's lying. It's something to his star sign and his trait. He's like the silver-tongued devil. Just I'm just gonna keep saying and saying and talking out my ass. Keep talking out my ass, even if it doesn't make any sense. Dragon tail, though, is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules, the animal world. Number one, don't you find it strange? I don't like people who don't like animals. I don't like people who don't have pets. I find it very strange he doesn't have an animal. The reason he doesn't have an animal is because he's a self-serving, condescending asshole. Sorry, I said it. Doesn't have animals. And I can't resonate with that energy right off the bat. That it's all about money, 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 money. But with his stars being where they're placed, and the next dragon energy on May 5th of 2020, it's shifting out of Capricorn and Cancer. It's moving right into Gemini and Sagittarius. It's moving in right on him. So he does have the potential to get reelected. Will our government let him get reelected? No. No. They are going to try and bust him for something big time, and one of two things is going to happen. He's either going to, I don't want to say go into exile. That's not what I'm saying, but he might have to leave the country to get away from this in some way. Or he gets reelected and they assassinate him in office. I would rather him go into exile, because as much as not we, but people hate him,
Mm-hmm.
to want death upon another soul is even more evil. You know what I mean? He's got kids, he's got a wife, even though she might hate him too. I don't know. Um, he's always been, in my opinion, just a showboat. He's a reality star. He's the Donald, you know. That's what I know him as, the Donald. So yes and no, it should be interesting. He does have the potential to get reelected, but I don't think our government's going to let him get reelected. I hope the thing doesn't start fuzzing again.
I think he's going to be reelected.
Okay.
That's what I keep hearing.
Only time will tell.
Mm-hmm. Didn't say for how
But
long or anything like that, because we are headed for some pretty rough years ahead of us.
I agree. I agree. January of 2020 will be the start of a recession.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that coming through the stars. Going farther out into the long term, I see the months of June 2020 and December 2020 being very bad. Now, December 2020 being more on a global level, because Sagittarius rules foreign affairs and foreigners. So we have been very lucky. The United States of America is riding the dragon's head right now. Cancer Nation, July 4th, 1776. Dragon's head is right on this country, protecting us. That's going to change. That's going to change in early spring or late spring, May 5th. That's going to change. And that energy is going to go right into the United States' sixth house of health and service to the world. So the health of our nation is getting ready to falter economically in some ways. I don't know exactly how, but that's why I'm stockpiling cryptocurrency. I don't want to be one of these crazy prepper ladies, but you do have to kind of prepare.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of have to sit back and go, well, wait a minute. What if I can't get to the store to get gas? Or what if I can't get to the store for this, that, and the other? You're going to have a supply of something to survive for a little while. Those of us who are more resilient will be able to get through it. The rest will perish, the ones that have no clue what's going on. But because we know, we can see the broader picture here, But I guarantee you, in 10 years from now, you will not recognize the political spectrum either.
Oh no,
the GOP is going to die, and
there won't be
the
any.
DNC.
There won't be any political parties or anything. Period.
No, in fact, once Pluto moves into Aquarius, which is 2023 sometime. Right now, Pluto's in Capricorn, so it's about politics, it's about government, and really Capricorn is about conservatism. It's a conservative sign. Once it moves into Aquarius, that is not conservative. That is free loving.
Mm-hmm.
That is humanity. It's going to take a shift, and hopefully for the better, but it's going to be a good, 5 more years of hard times, in my opinion.
I think longer.
Mm-hmm.
I can't divulge
I do
how I
too.
know, but it's going to be several years.
Yes, I agree. And it's going to be on a global level
Mm-hmm.
in a great many ways. But yeah, the United States has been lucky so far. Our luck is going to run out come the 5th of May of 2020. And then in the next 18 months, you're going to see a lot of interesting things. A lot of interesting things. So only time will tell. Stock up, prep. Be ready.
Mm-hmm. Be with people you like spending time with.
Exactly. Surround yourself with the people you love.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like I say to some of the students I work with, take every day as a gift,
Yes.
every day, because there are people in this world, even children, who don't make it, you know, to a certain age. You know, even my own mother said, because her birthday's in a few days, she goes, God, I'm old. She says, but I'm blessed. You know, I've had 82 years on this planet, and there are people who have passed away at 15, 19, 10, 2. She goes, I'm blessed, you know? So when you think of the littler things in life, you know, the smaller things, they end up not being really small things, but really abundant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate what you have. It's like that saying goes, be thankful for what you have and not what you always want,
Yep.
you know?
It's true.
So, yeah, food for thought, words to live by, you know. It's hard in this day and age with, especially with teenagers. I want the new this, I gotta have the new iPod. I want this, I want that. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have the money for all these electronics. I'm not paying $1,000 for a new Apple phone. I'm sorry.
I won't own one.
No, I'm fine with my Android.
Yep. I like Android. I won't own an Apple.
No, I don't need one. I don't need one.
Mm-mm.
I have a godfather who has one of those old flip phones. And I asked him one day, why that thing is like old as time. And he looks at me and he goes, because he was in Nam, okay? Then he looks at me and he goes, because the government can't follow me on this one, baby. I'm going,
My godfather.
oh my
he's
God,
got one too.
no, it's true. There's no tracking device on that phone. I'm like, that's genius. Here we're making fun of him for his phone, but he's free. He's a free man with that phone.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Too funny. The things you can learn from your elders, you see?
Yeah. Totally. Well, my godfather, my uncle, he has a flip phone too. But I know several people that have flip phones. They won't get one of these. They won't get an Android.
I don't blame them. They
I'm like,
constantly
I do
can track
business on
you.
mine all the time. I take it to my
I do
events. I
too.
take it, wherever I am, and I can do whatever I
Yep.
need to.
I take mine with me too, and I use mine for business on the go.
Mm-hmm.
One of those things, I can't get away from it. You know, I can't use a flip phone. I need internet.
Well, now they have them. They have the internet on them now. The flip phones are now coming with internet access. Yep.
Oh, big darn.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, Big Brother's always watching, though. It's like, even like when I look at my phone and Google tells me where I've been, I'm like, oh, that's creepy. Not that I care, but, how do you know I was at, Goodwill yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like the
Kind
tracking
of
and all that.
creepy.
Yeah. Yep. That's the downfall. But you turn off your GPS and the tracking on it,
There's ways around it,
Mm-hmm.
most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely there's ways around it. But if the men in black are ever catching you, they'll find you.
I keep saying to my mothership, take me home. And they said I've been to Walmart one too many times and I'm tainted. So they won't take me home to Zebulon. I'm stuck here
Oh,
because I'm tainted.
how fun. How funny.
Yeah, you're
I always said,
Colleen, the 3G will no longer be and it'll be 5G, and that's really bad news.
thank you. I've gotten into so many disagreements with people over this 5G.
Mhm.
I mean, how fast is
Mhm.
too fast when birds are falling out of the sky? I'm sorry.
It's all going to be like we're all going to be microwaved.
Well, that's one thing about technology. It can hinder. It's helped, but it's also hindering humanity in a great many ways. So it's just one of those things.
It is.
But yeah, 5G, no bueno. Not good.
Not good at all.
No, just too much radiation. We have enough of that in our atmosphere as it is, and in our water.
Mm-hmm.
We have enough of that. Why would we need more? That's what I'm saying. Technology. When is too much? When is it enough? I mean, we always want to go above and beyond, but at what price? So there's more brain cancer and there's more environmental things, birds falling out of the sky. At what price do we have to draw the line and say, okay, enough is enough?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No, I
I can
totally
wait
agree.
30 more seconds to get online. Just have a little patience. That's the problem. People don't have any patience.
No. Mm-mm. What's your Etsy shop link? They can get it through your regular website, right? Too? They can get connected there?
Absolutely, I believe so.
I'm going to put
Hold
your
on, let
regular
me.
website in. It's hang on here everybody. www.astrologywitch.
Hold on, I'm going to close these and
.com.
close.
So it's in there.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. My daughter is my webmaster. I mean, she didn't create the Etsy one, but she is my webmaster. And of course, she's been laxing lately, but she's in college, so she has a good excuse. But yeah, she's the one who created my website. And I'm like, wow, what talent. Okay, you can do whatever you want, So my website is actually my daughter's creation. But
Nice.
I'm going to try and get on Facebook here while I'm on my phone, and I'll put the site into Facebook if I can. Yeah, restore. Let's see. Bear with me.
I put your website on for you.
Oh, perfect. All
Ah,
right.
my allergies are getting to me tonight. I think because everything's being
Mine
up.
were like that on Sunday. I have to move you a minute. Hold on. If I could see what I'm doing. Okay. Sorry.
No, you're
Sorry.
right.
You went traveling with me for a minute. Oh, perfect. Okay, and let me. I want to see if I can reply to this in here. Let's see. Bear with me, Renee. I'm trying to. There. It's hard to see what I'm doing when I have a stack of CDs to prop my phone up.
Nice.
There. I entered. There.
There you go.
I entered the Etsy page. So yeah, check out Etsy. I have a lot. I do a lot of work with angels and angel card readings, and
Mm-hmm.
since I've had some experiences with the angels in the past several years, chirping in my ear in some way. There's no, sometimes people have audio clairvoyance and you can hear them. And that's why I asked my question last week about audio clairvoyance. And I think that when certain human beings have experiences that are on the, like an out of body experience,
Mm-hmm.
after you have that experience, there's certain things that happen that you can't explain.
Mm-hmm.
That for me is one of them. It's like, okay, wow, this never happened before 2015. Why is this happening now? I've read about these stories all the time where people have these out of body experiences and then boom, they're able to hear or see things, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
ghosts or hear angels or being more psychic or what. And so for me, I've been really tapping into the angel energy, um, the hierarchy angels at that. And it's brought me a better relationship with them and in correlating them into the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Every every star sign has an hierarchy angel that they
Mm-hmm.
can always call upon and always protect them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll use you as an example. Ariel, they rule Aries. They're the protector of Aries. So your guardian, not guardian, hierarchy angel, because guardian angels are on a lower level.
Mm-hmm.
We need our guardian angels, but hierarchy angels are higher
Your
hierarchy.
archangels, and your ascended masters. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But I'm learning, I've been studying about angels, and I'm going, wow, see, even in the stars, this is why the stars, you can have religion. I don't follow religion. That's why I'm not even Wiccan anymore, because it's still considered a religion, and I've met a lot of crazy people in all walks of life, all paths. Doesn't matter if it's Christian, Muslim, doesn't matter. Religion, it's religion. So it's just taught me that the stars have nothing to do with religion. It's an ancient science.
Mm-hmm.
So I choose to follow the ancient science. The higher ups are involved though, because Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So there is that correlation between hierarchy angels, the divine, and the stars. So
Mm-hmm.
some people may think it's ridiculous, but it's why I'm still alive.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I love you.
I love you too. It's been a blast, and I'll have to have you on my YouTube show
Almost
one of these
definitely.
days. I go on YouTube usually every Sunday because that's all I have time for
Mm-hmm.
because I work. And usually Sundays are my only day, but I'm trying to figure out how I can get another person on YouTube with me. And I have a lot of questions, so I'll be picking your brain one of these days soon about YouTube. But do check out my YouTube channel as well. I talk about a lot of topics. If you want to know more about this method of astrology, please go to my YouTube page. I talk about the 13th sign. I talk about the difference between draconian and draconis, because this method of astrology does come from the aliens of Draco, the constellation of Draco. They are the gardeners of this planet. They are the ones protecting us. They are the good ETs. And so if you want to know more about that, go to my YouTube page and you can educate yourself on all kinds of interesting stuff. You just have to put up with my mumbling and my ums and my ohs and my cats meowing and fighting with each other in the background. I don't have that many viewers, but it's okay. But it's about quality, not quantity, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But thanks for having me on. I
Oh,
had
you're
a
so
blast.
welcome. I love you so much.
I love you too, Renee. Stay in touch with me.
I will.
Hang in there. I
Same
hope
here.
your allergies get better.
What was that? I
hope
like year round
Just get
anymore.
better. I know it's awful. I was like that Sunday. I sneezed like 30, 40 times. I'm like, oh my God.
Mhm. Mhm. I get it.
Yep. Happy new moon to all of you, your listeners and yourself. Happy new moon, and check out my Astrology Witch website, because I post the forecast in about 2 days. I'm going to post a forecast by house and sign that'll help your listeners get a little taste of the method of astrology that I
Nice.
practice.
Nice. I want to do one of my friends, his father, it's the anniversary of his birthday, but he's deceased, so I wanted to say happy birthday to his dad. So
Oh,
I'm gonna put that in there.
I know the feeling. My aunt passed away 2 years ago on the 22nd, so the last few equinox have been a little rough,
Mm-hmm.
but she's here. I feel her spirit.
Nice.
Little things.
Mm-hmm.
I just know, oh, she's here.
Nice. All right. I'm gonna get going and
All right.
pick on my son a little
Thank
bit
you.
more. I love you.
Love you too.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.
I'll see
night.
you all next week. Have fun. Have a good week and be blessed. Always blessed. Good night.
Good night.
Namaste.